In this video, I will talk about key signs that will help you recognize if you are a people pleaser and the impact of this behavior on close relationships. I'm Professor Shania Rathod, a psychiatrist in the UK. I talk about mental well-being and post educational videos regularly on my channel. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Videos by Dr. Shania so that you don't miss out. Do you find that after a conversation with someone close, you spend hours thinking about the conversation, feeling anxious? Why did I say that? Or I should have said that? Or why did they respond like that? Do you find that as a result, you're not always honest in your close relationships, feel that you don't want to get into even discussions, leave aside arguments? Do you feel like a doormat in your relationships? Or even do you feel lonely in your close relationships? If you find any of this familiar, please put a comment in the comment box. People pleasing is not a psychiatric diagnosis, but this behavior can lead to anxiety and resentment in relationships. One can feel overwhelmed, tired, stressed when trying to do too much. The feeling I should or I have to do XYZ to be loved or appreciated creates a constant sense of worry, anxiety, and can sometimes also lead to depression. Did you know that fear and anxiety is at the core of people pleasing? The feeling I'm not good enough is the driver of such behavior. With people pleasing behavior, one seeks a secure and loving relationship, but they are afraid of exposing their emotional vulnerability. Of course, there are many psychological reasons why we tend to develop this attribute and don't even realize that we are people pleasing. I will talk about those in another video. But today let me tell you about 3 common behaviors that may indicate that you are a people pleaser. First is constant sacrifice of personal needs and boundaries. Individuals who exhibit people-pleasing behavior often prioritize their partner's needs, desires, and preferences over their own, even to their own detriment. They might consistently suppress their feelings, avoid expressing their opinions, and forego their own hobbies or interests to make their partner happy. Over time, this can lead to resentment and a loss of personal identity. The relationship may become unbalanced and one partner feels more entitled, the other feeling neglected or unappreciated. The people pleaser may also experience burnout and emotional exhaustion. Secondly, excessive apologizing and seeking validation. Individuals who are people pleasers often apologize excessively even for things that they are not at fault of or are beyond their control. They frequently seek validation and approval from their partner. They fear rejection or disapproval. Now, this behavior can create an unhealthy dynamic where the people pleaser becomes overly dependent on their partner for self-worth and validation. It can lead to an imbalance of power where the partner could potentially take advantage of the people pleaser's submissiveness. The constant need for reassurance can also strain the relationship, making it difficult for both partners to feel secure and valued. And number 3, avoidance of conflict. People pleasers tend to avoid disagreements or confrontations, and sometimes even discussions to maintain harmony in the relationship. They might agree with their partner even when they internally disagree, or they might shy away from discussing important issues to prevent potential conflict. This avoidance can lead to unresolved issues and a lack of honest communication. The relationship starts to feel superficial with underlying tensions that are never addressed. The people pleaser might also feel increasingly disconnected from their true feelings and desires, leading to a sense of isolation and dissatisfaction. Of course, there are other behaviors which we will talk about in different contexts, but today let me tell you 2 common impacts of people-pleasing behavior on close relationships. First is impact on intimacy. Firstly, and most importantly, this attribute affects intimacy and even sustainability of close relationships. Each one of us can feel anxious when a close relation has a different opinion to us, especially in the early stages of the relationship. The easy option is to agree with the other person's view, but not expressing honest opinions to each other creates a fake relationship and changes expectations. Honest disagreements might cause conflict, but they also bring understanding. Being vulnerable and curious builds intimacy. Sharing and exploring views together creates strong bonds with mutual respect and trust. Letting someone into your world fosters intellectual, emotional, and sexual intimacy. But hiding your true self to avoid conflict stops deep connections from forming. Secure communication helps you and your relationship grow. So, avoiding conflict for safety may be needed in some situations, but one also needs to be aware of how often and the impact. And the second impact is on unbalanced dynamic. In relationships where one partner exhibits people-pleasing behavior, the dynamic often becomes unbalanced. Now, this imbalance can have significant negative impacts on both individuals and the relationship as a whole. Let me give you an example of Anna. Anna always prioritizes Mark's needs, doing most of the housework and rarely expressing her own desires. She constantly agrees with Mark and adjusts her schedule around his plans. But over time, Anna feels unappreciated and taken for granted. This leads to frustration and diminished self-worth. Mark may feel entitled and unaware of Anna's growing unhappiness. Anna's needs and opinions are often overlooked, reducing her influence in the relationship. And Mark, he assumes a dominant role, creating an unhealthy power dynamic. When Anna suppresses her true feelings, leading to a superficial connection, Mark is unaware of the depth of Anna's sacrifices, leading to unmet emotional needs for both actually. And ultimately, over time, there is a dissatisfaction in the relationship where Anna feels trapped and undervalued, potentially leading to withdrawal from the relationship. Unbalanced dynamics can cause conflict. Say, if Anna eventually voices her frustrations, it surprises Mark. So I want you to do this exercise today. Spend 15 minutes reflecting on your relationship after watching this video. Put a comment in the comment box. How authentic is your relationship? If you've enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the more YouTube gives me the ability to make more creative videos. Like it, share it, tell it. Tell it to all the people you know. Thank you for watching.